is taxable income? And how far can Congress take its taxing power under the 16th Amendment? Today, the Supreme Court heard oral arguments in Moore versus the United States, and the court's decision in this case could cause a lot of chaos in our current tax system and could significantly reduce Congress's ability to tax the super rich. Now, before I get into all of this, I want to thank my subscribers for voting for this story as the bonus this week. If you want to vote too, you can subscribe to my page during my next live event, which is on Wednesday night, or you can follow these steps and you can subscribe right now. Okay, I'm going to warn you, I'm about to talk about a bunch of tax stuff here, and it may feel confusing, but stick with it. I'm going to explain it all, and more importantly, I'm going to explain why the Supreme Court's ruling in this case could impact you. So Moore, as in Moore versus the United States, is actually two people, Charlie and Kathleen Moore, who are suing the U.S. government over almost $15,000 they were taxed. The tax stems from the 2017 Trump-era tax law that requires U.S. investors in foreign companies to pay a one-time tax on accumulated foreign profits going back several decades. It's called the Mandatory Repatriation Tax, or MRT. The law says American taxpayers who own more than 10% of those foreign corporations, even if the company's earnings have not been given to those U.S. shareholders or realized, are subject to the tax. The Moores say they hadn't realized any actual income from their investment in this India-based company, so the $15,000 they were taxed was bogus. They sued the government, saying, based on the 16th Amendment, Congress took its taxing power too far by considering unrealized income as taxable. The couple also argued these same 16th Amendment questions will come up again if the president and Congress are successful in their attempts to create a new tax for the super wealthy. The 16th Amendment, by the way, says the Congress shall have the power to lay and collect taxes on incomes from whatever source derived without apportionment among the several states and without any regard to any census or enumeration. Basically, the Constitution says, have at it, Congress. You get all the power to create and levy whatever taxes you want on anyone in any state that you want. In the past, the Supreme Court has rarely got involved in setting boundaries or rules for what counts as income and what Congress considers taxable. Now, if you are not a corporation and you are not a wealthy investor who would be subject to this tax, why should you care? Because since 2017, the U.S. government has collected hundreds of billions of dollars from this tax. So if the Supreme Court rules in favor of the Moores and says this tax just went too far, all those wealthy investors and corporations will likely seek refunds to get their money back. That means hundreds of billions of dollars the U.S. government has already used or has been counting on to pay for programs for you and me could just be gone. Now, during the 2 hours of oral arguments today, Justices Alito, Gorsuch, and Thomas asked questions that were very skeptical of the government's justification for this 2017 tax. The other justices appeared to be less critical and asked a lot of questions about how their ruling may potentially call into question other existing tax laws and how much chaos their ruling would cause to the existing tax system. The Supreme Court will issue a ruling in Moore versus the United States at the end of the term, likely in June.